Today, this is today's plan. So we've done the warm-up poll, and then I'm going to give an introduction to using Zoho Desk. Then we'll have a look at how we navigate around creating tickets. Sometimes we call them requests. They can be tailored to whatever you like. Then we'll have a very quick break in the middle. And then we'll look at opening up a ticket and look at all the features that you have within tickets and how you can communicate, collaborate with your own staff and collaborate with the clients. And then at the end, we'll look at a quick look at the knowledge base, articles and a help center that comes with Zoho Desk. But that's something that might be more part of the advanced session. And then if we have any Q&A at the end, we'll have a cool down Q&A. To answer any questions, and if we can't answer them at the time, we'll follow them up afterwards. Okay, and then we'll just have a look at some of the upcoming 1 hour workouts over the next month or two. Okay, so let's start with the introduction to Desk. So I'm just going to move over into the demo system that we're using for this. We've got various demo systems with various amounts of data. You'll notice some of the data is a bit mixed up. Some is test data, some is imported, and it'll hopefully give you a good idea of what you can do with the Zoho Desk system. Okay, so what we find with email, let me talk about email and the downside of email and why Desk would be a good option to replace that. What we get with email is that it's not process driven. We don't see any sort of progress and green traffic light systems or any sort of collaboration going on within an email. We just send emails to each other, to clients, and then they can just sit and wait and nothing happens. We don't get any notifications, etc. And so it's not really a process that you can manage from start to finish. When a client wants some work done, makes a request, wants to buy something from us. And we do find that often the email will come in, and if it's not answered straight away, it then drops down the list and off the page or off your monitor, and then you can sometimes forget what's going on within your email system. With a desk system, we have tickets or requests that come in, and then you can track these from the start of the opening of the ticket, tracked all the way through to the closing of the ticket or the resolution of the ticket. These can be used in lots of different environments. I've used them a lot in IT help desk environments where people log issues that they have and you respond to them. We've used them within a sales environment where people will inquire about products and you manage the interaction with the client via the desk system rather than via email or even on the phone. And it's all process driven and it's logged and recorded within the actual desk system itself. Okay, now the first thing to look at is how you browse to the Zoho Desk system. So as ever, it's all cloud-based. So we can type in the URL, which in this case would be desk.zoho.com or .eu, depending on where your data servers are situated. This is .com because it's part of the Zoho demo accounts that partners are given to do their testing and presenting on. Zoho Desk comes as part of the Zoho One package of products, which is around 40 or so products that come in one package. It's also part of CRM Plus, which is an 8-product package of applications. And of course, you can also buy it as a standalone package as well. Okay, so let's have a look at Desk and a quick introduction into what we see here. On the left-hand side, we've got various icons, and if you look at the bottom left, you can pop in and pop out these different icons to show you a bit more information. And the first one we have here is what we call the headquarters. Now, an administrator would probably be more interested in this side of things, but what you'll see here is what we call the bandwidth. And this shows you the incoming and outgoing tickets coming into the desk system. So here you can see there's been a peak yesterday. This is when I was doing some testing and preparation for the training this morning. And you can see another another few tickets have come in this morning as well. So there's not great numbers here because it's a demo system. But what this would give you is a really good idea of your peak times for demand on your desk system. So you've got agents who sit logged into this desk system. They will have notifications popping up to tell them new tickets have arrived. And this is where you can manage what's happening as an overall basis. You will see that where your demand is and where you may need to staff this desk system more fully. So if I look at the last 30 days, we can see various peaks that come in. You've got some in the evening here, 5, 6, 7 at night, and even some in the morning, and then a real peak just after lunchtime. So if this was a real live situation, we could then formally look at how we staff any sort of desk or support desk and the numbers that we'd like to have there. So this is in the headquarters. You'll also see the agents. We have 2 demo users for the system. We've got 2, both of them are online. So I'm logged in on both these users. I'm logged in as Steve here, and there's also Pete, who's logged in elsewhere. We've got no offline agents. And then you get this most threaded tickets. And this is basically telling us where the longest conversations have been going on inside a ticket. So these conversations will be email or, well, it's not actually email. The responses that are being sent backwards and forwards between a particular customer or client. And also any comments or collaboration going on internally in the CRM. And this just gives you an idea, or for the administrator to say, right, what's going on here? Why are there so many conversations going on in the same ticket? Why isn't it being resolved? Is there a problem there? So that's really good to have this overview. And then you can see various other aspects on this dashboard, such as the live traffic, any tickets that are unassigned. So we do have 150 unassigned, which would ring an alarm bell. Why aren't they being dealt with? We can see we've got 98 that are open, 52 on hold. So it gives us a really good overview of what's going on within the desk system. And then we don't have this set up, but you can ask for ratings from your customers after a ticket or a request has been closed, and you can get this ratings and it'll be presented to you. Okay, so this is what we call the headquarters. I'm just going to quickly nip down to the team feeds here. Now, team feed is just basically, will show you any internal collaboration between the users on tickets. So this would basically give you an overview of anything that you're involved with other users of the desk system. Okay, so there's not a lot set up in here. It's just test tickets. You can see this information here, but it's just giving you an idea of what is going on internally within the CRM, the desk system, sorry. Okay, and a lot of this is set up by administrators that access the views and who can do what. So when we come to do an admin training for the 1 hour workout, that would become more clear. So you may have some questions about how you set things up, and we'll have a look at that if you do have them, and we will cover them in a further 1 hour workout in the future. Here we drop down to views. So those of you who do use the CRM, I'm sure that's all of you, will hopefully be used to using views. Now these views are, as we do in a CRM, we build a view based on certain criteria. Some of these are provided out of the box with the system, obviously all tickets, closed tickets, my open tickets even. So you can see I'm on the my open tickets here. If I could select the drop-down list, I could go to all tickets, and it shows all the tickets that are here. And we'll look at how to customize a view later on in the session. But as you can see, we've got lots that come out of the box, and we've got others that we've maybe configure ourselves, such as this one, Pete. He's one of the other users. Okay, I'll drop down to this section here. This is the agent queue, and this gives you an idea of, you can look at other agents and how busy or how many tickets they have ongoing in the CRM. And you'll see we've got a slightly different view here. Earlier on, it was like a little table. of the tickets, and here we've got a different view. We've got the sort of a progress view, and we'll status mode, this is called, and we'll look at that again. And this will bring in the process-driven aspect of the desk system. And if you had more than one agent, they would be listed down here, so you could get an idea of the workload. Teams we won't cover quickly, but you can build teams. We don't have any in here, any tickets, but you could build a team queue, and it could be people who just work in marketing, it could be people who just work in sales, or whatever department it may be. So you can set up different departments and analyze the incoming and outgoing tickets there. Okay, and tags I won't cover just now, but tags you may have used in CRM. It's where you can put an extra little sort of field, additional comment on a ticket or a contact or a customer, and then you can use that to search and list data based on a particular little piece of information that you may have added to a ticket. Okay, so that's us run down the left-hand side on here. As I said, you can pop it in and pop it out, you collapse it. So I'll just go back up to the views here just now. This is where we generally work in these view areas. I'm just going to drop that down back to the table view. We'll cover what this all means in a few minutes. Okay, I'll just quickly go across the top here. We've got different modules here, and these can be hidden or presented as required to different groups of users, all based on roles and profiles within the desk system. So we can see the tickets here. We've got what we call the knowledge base. So these are all modules, and the knowledge base is, again, we'll cover that at the end of the session, where you can post articles and documents. Customers, yeah, as we say, literally, it's all our contacts and customers within Desk, and it can be integrated, and usually is, with the CRM, so they'll appear in both, and we can get information from the CRM presented within Desk as well. Reports, as ever with Zoho products, you have a host of reports that are built within the Desk system. You can build them yourselves, and we can also integrate with the advanced analytics provided by Zoho Analytics application, which is really intensive and deep down data analysis, which is one of the other applications that Zoho provide. Activities, well, again, that's based on any tasks that are created within a ticket. And we'll have a quick look at that, but it's more in the advanced training that we do. Community is where we can create an online portal and allow customers and clients to submit requests, not just by emailing us, but by logging into a portal and submitting queries via there. And we will have a very quick look at that. But again, that's more part of our advanced training for Zoho Desk, but again, it's one of those ways to make it easy to communicate with our customers, rather than having to pick up the phone when you don't really have time, or swapping emails, which can get lost in the list of emails ether. And then we've got a couple of ones here we've not really used intensively, but you can have a social media setup where you have you can communicate with your clients via Twitter, and we quite often see people feel they get more of a response by a public tweet, and you can have them directed to your Zoho Desk, and you can allow you to answer them quickly if you're mentioned in social media. And that's similar to a chat facility, but we've not got this set up here. Okay, I'll just click back into our tickets here. And I'll just move over to the right-hand side just to show you what these all mean. And here we've got the drop-down list, and this is the list of departments that we've got set up. So in here we've got a default department called Demo 1 Target Cloud Core. That's just the name of our demo system, and we haven't renamed that, but we could. We've got a department called Process, and we've got a department called Sales, and we're currently in the support department. So this is, I'm showing tickets here for the support department. If I select all departments, it would show tickets from all of the departments. Okay, and we get slightly different views depending which department you're in. You can customize them. With all departments, we don't have as many options, and I'll show you this in a few minutes. So I'll just go back to support because this is where we're going to work mostly. Here we've got what we call the search facility. It's the global search. Again, very, very similar to the Zoho CRM search facility. So we can search for tickets in here. So in our imaginary music consultancy, which is this, you can type in keywords and then you'll see the data provided with the first hit of the first sort of 8 to 9 tickets here with the word gig written in them. If I click view for more search results, you'll see a longer list. So we only have 10 actually here. So yeah, that's the maximum. Oh no, we've got 11 to 16. So yeah, you can click forward. So if the arrow appears, you can click forward. But also, if you notice, hopefully in the top left here, we've got a drop-down arrow next to the magnifying glass. And this allows you to do a more advanced search. It allows you to search in specific modules, departments, and the advanced search and our search across Zoho. I want to do the advanced search just now, but here you can select your criteria for a subject is, and again, we could put in gigs, and then you may want to say it's related to a specific product name, for example, or a contact. So that's why you build in an advanced search function, and then present those tickets to you if you want to do that search. Okay, so I'm going to click the back button on the bottom left here, and go back to the tickets, and I'll close up here. We're back to the all tickets view here in the support department. We do have an add button here, and again, this allows you to add new tickets. If I click the plus, it would open up a brand new empty ticket and allow me to add a new ticket into the support department, and you can see the various bits of information that are added here. We could start typing in the name of a client or a customer. This is manually driven, this obviously, and it presents you with a list of the clients that match that. And if we do select that, it'll fill out other details to do with account names, email, and wherever appropriate. Okay, so again, I won't go greatly through this, but it does allow you to enter the subject heading. So this would be the subject of the ticket. There's a description in here. And the status could be open, in progress. We have different statuses, and again, this is provided and set up in the background by the admin team, who maybe decide and plan what's required from the desk system. And you can add additional information such as due dates, the priority, and we'll look at why that's important as part of the training we're doing. Okay. And obviously, people can email these in. They will email a ticket in, send an email, and it would automatically create a lot of this. And some of these details are filled in based on admin settings that you want to set up when an email arrives in your support department. And I'll do a quick test. I'll send a quick email in the background as part of our test here. But that was just to show you how you add a ticket. I will just cancel that. But you see, if I click the arrow below the plus ticket here, you can add new records into each of the departments, or into each of the modules, I should say, that we have set up. So we could add in a new task, we could add a new count, a new article to our knowledge base. Okay, the next icon is our notifications icon, and this is very important because this is what's telling you, giving you warnings on what's going on within the desk system, particularly related to you. So any tickets that you're involved with, or that you might have somebody's collaborating with you or tagging you, you will see the red circle appear in the notifications, and you can open it up and check what is going on. So you can see here, the other user, Pete, has updated some tickets in the background, and it's I may be the owner of the ticket, or I may have been tagged in that ticket or commented in that ticket, and I then continue to get notifications from that unless I decide to switch them off. And this is where the collaboration comes in a lot here, and we'll show you how we do that in a new ticket. I'll close the X here. Next part is just the actual guts of the desk system itself. This is your where you build the administrative functions in here. As a standard user, you'd see a cut down version of this as you would in the CRM, but this is where we can customize a lot of the desk system. And it's customized to allow users to see, or agents as they're called, and down here allow you to see what you need to see within the CRM. And it can be branded. We can build the portals, as I say. You can see we can do business hours. So there's lots we can brand and customize in here. And again, lots of automation. And then finally, that's the user that's logged in. Okay, right. We've had a good look around the outside of the CRM. So really, what I want to focus on is now the views that we have in the CRM. So in the desk system, which is like the CRM. Okay, so I'm going to just open up the button here, the expand button. So we have these views listed under here, and they're also listed under this drop down arrow here. So we can see all the views that are available within the CRM desk system. I keep saying CRM. I'm so used to using that and training on that. So we want to see just my tickets. So I just have a look. I could start typing in my, and we have my tickets. So I'll select that, and it will change just to a list of my tickets. I'll go back to the list. I'm not sure why it popped open there. Okay. And you can see we've got a total list of 1 to 50 records here. And you can actually click total records, and you can see how many records I have in total. So by records, we mean tickets. How many tickets do we have here? Okay, I just want to quickly show you this 3 dots here. There are 3 ellipses. You can configure this view once you're in here. So you can sort it by some of the column headings. Tickets received, it could be, you can customize. And also the records per page. This is what I wanted to show you mainly. You can list up to 50 per page. So if you wanted to shorten that so you could see them all, you'd maybe just reduce that to 20 and click apply. Okay, so you'll see a lot of them are overdue, and that's because we've not used Desk for a little while in terms of training and adding new data. But some of them I have been adding yesterday. So in the views here, you can see we've got custom tickets that are provided by the CRM, but we can also provide custom views. We'll look at building them in the next half hour. Okay, now I'm looking at views. I want to look over at these icons here, these 2 icons. So what we're seeing here is a view that we call table view. So what we're seeing is we're listing all these in table view, but I'm going to click to classic just now. So the classic view that we have here is basically like a list of emails. So if you start planning to migrate over to Zoho Desk, this may be the first view you want to use because it is familiar and it gives you an idea of how it works, but still looking familiar like an email. But we have lots of information already provided within this. You can see we've got icons here which show where the ticket came from. So we can see that these are, the first one here is from email, and the blue arrow means it's been forwarded on to someone. You can see the green arrow here, which means it's been replied to. The globe here means it's come from the web. And there's all various different icons that tell you where it's come from. So there's a phone call. So someone's manually logged this because they took a phone call. If we scroll down, you can even see a Twitter icon, a chat facility. So it's instantly telling you where the ticket was raised and how the client came to communicate with us. In the header, you see the ticket number, and this is really important because that's then used as whenever anyone's replying or updating a ticket, it is always used to match up the reply to the open ticket. So if I was to email back as a customer on here, it would be added to this ticket, and we'll do a little test of that. You can also see the name of the client listed here. You can see the company where appropriate, and you can also see when it was received, and based on your SLAs, you may have SLAs in place and you can configure them. We can see it's late by 14 hours. So it looks like we've got a sort of 1 hour response time on here. So we haven't actually responded to this. So again, it's giving you this overview straight away of what's going on within the ticket. We even see here this thread count where we've had chats and ongoing information within the ticket. I'll just move over to the right hand side, and the next icon we see is a ticket peek, and it allows you to just have a little look inside the ticket. It pops out. So it's just popped out to show you what's going on. So you can see there's been a bit of information. So down here, a client, this is my sort of test account, please help with support for a socially distanced gig. And you can then see there's been various emails and chats going on within the CRM, and there's even within Desk, and there's even a draft email being prepared here, but another one has been sent. I'll just close that one down. You can see we can edit the ticket here, and we can also delete it here. And this is showing us the status. So this is what you call the classic view. The next view we have is compact, which is very similar. It just squeezes the number of records together, takes out some of the little bits of information, and it allows you to see more tickets in that single page. But essentially, we've got very much similar information going on, such as the ticket peek, the edit. We can even make a comment on it. You can see these comments here, and we'll do that in a ticket in a minute. Okay, now these next section here, we've got these classic compact and table. They're called simple views. And over here, we've got what we call mode view. So this is where you can start pulling in the process-driven side of the Desk system, which you don't get in the email. So if I select this mode here, and I'm in status mode. Now, what you might have noticed in some of the tickets we have the tickets are set to the status they're in. So some might be open, it might be a brand new ticket that's just come in and it's sitting in the open stage. But we also have some in progress. We have some where we're awaiting the client, some meeting booked. And if I click the arrow here, we can see other statuses with vendor. That's the last one there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll just move back to the left. 5. We have 5 status set up within our Desk for a ticket. And what we do in this status mode is looking at where they are. So we'll be working, generally we work from left to right through the ticket. So it's very similar to the Kanban view we have in the CRM, where we use particularly with the sales process, you can see what stage it is in the sales process, and that can also be applied to the Desk system. So we can see where the issues are, where there's any blockages, or we can start working on the open ones first because we know these are in progress. We may decide to look at the awaiting client list and follow up those, or we may want to have a check on our meetings that we've had booked. And this is where the status mode comes in. So if I just open a ticket just now, hopefully I'll open it quickly. Yep, there we go. You can see this is the status here. So we're in progress, awaiting client. These are the statuses we have listed in that view that we showed before. So that's where we set the status up in the ticket when we log it. Okay. The next view we have in the mode view is if I drop down this little arrow here, it's just taking a little time to pop up. We've got, well, I'll ignore handshake mode for now because that's more in our advanced 1 hour workout, but you can see the Zoho CRM icon there. And what that's doing is going to be looking inside CRM to pull out any information we have within CRM. So if you have an open sales pipeline, if you have products that in your CRM that you might be selling to people, anything integrated and related between the clients and customers or contacts within the CRM and in Desk, that will appear in the handshake mode. Countdown mode. Now this is based on this SLA status. So as you can see here, we've got 16 are overdue in my tickets. I've got 25 with no due date, and I've got 3 on hold. So I could select, and again, this is little tips here, I could select a lot of these at one time and make some changes to them. So I've selected 3, and I can make changes. So here we can say merge or update. So I could do 3 and update. So I'm going to update the priority, or let's say the due date. So I've gone through them, looked at the due date. I'll set them to Thursday this week. I'll set them and save. And you can see they've now disappeared from the no due date, and they've now appeared in a new status called due in 6 hours and more. So in this, we've got, as I said, it's the countdown mode, not the status. So this is their SLA targets and how they're being filled, completed or not completed. And you can see how I can manage these. So as I say, pick them up on a mass basis and make changes to them, more than one at a time. Okay, I'll just wait for that to pop up and come back. It seems to be running slightly slowly this morning. So this is your countdown mode, and this is your status mode. And the final one I'll show you, again, it's just taking a little time to load. We've got status, countdown, and then we go to priority mode. And here we have the priorities that are set in the back end of the CRM. We've got high, medium, low, and we've got other. Okay, and that's potentially where we haven't actually listed it. So if I go into this test one here, we're going to look inside the ticket now. You can see I've got a priority of none. So I can go into that ticket and set the priority, click save, and it will now be moved to the high priority column. Okay. So that's the views. So what we've done here is looked at the different views we have within tickets, where we have the simple view, which gives us the classic compact, and we also have the status or modes where we can list them in column. Now, I deliberately missed out using this table view. Now, in the classic mode, this is one of my favorites here. So we're using process driven in the modes, these modes here with the columns, but in the table mode, there's one big feature you have. You can add and customize your own columns. So in the simple list, we've got table, and we can select columns and add them as required. So we may want to remove customer responded time, but we may want to add in potentially the phone number, so we can see that to pick up the phone quickly. But you can add lots of different columns within here, and I'll save that. And what we'll see over here, oops. You just bear with me a second. We'll see the phone number list, although our data doesn't have phone numbers listed in there, but I've added that column. But I can remove that, and I've noticed it's pointless having that, so I will remove that. Okay, so I'll take that away, and you can move these around and add and delete as required. Okay, I'm just going to take a 1 minute break. I'm fairly rattling along, lots to cover here. I'd like to go through a specific ticket itself, show you what's inside a ticket, and we can have a look at that. So I'll just have a quick drink and take a minute, and we'll look at the next section inside a ticket. Okay, thank you. Okay, thanks for bearing with me there. A glass of water. So hopefully what we've done here is we've gone all around the modules, the left-hand side, and all the options here. We've looked at the icons on the top right-hand side and what they can do. And then we've looked at the different views we can have. And these are your classic compact table, simple views, which provide information similar to the email. And then we've got what we call our mode views, and they give you a sort of column view. so you can work, and that's where you can start using process driven. So you log in the morning, you'll see what's open, you'll see what's high priority, you'll see what the countdown might be, and you can get lots of information just from one window. And this is the benefit over email. You don't get that when you look at a list of emails. You get nothing like that at all. So we can look at these the status modes or the priority modes to tell us exactly what's going on. Okay, so let's have a look inside a ticket and see what we see in there. I'm just going to go to let's look at one that was logged yesterday by Dave Grohl. Let's see, they've had an email, I think it was. So we'll just open this. So we see the various things going on here. We've basically got three sort of pages or three sections in this ticket. First one is you can hide and remove this, but I think it's really useful to have this. You can list all your tickets by default on the left-hand side. So even though you're dealing with one ticket in particular, you can still see an overview of what you have, what else you have on the left-hand side. So you can pin and unpin this. So I could unpin it and it disappears like that. But if I select the bottom left, there's a little 2 lines here. If I select that, it pops it out and I'll pin again. So I'll just pin that. Okay, and that's it back. Okay, so just to show you how you can do that. So that's a list of all the tickets, a ticket list. In this middle column here, we've got what we call the ticket overview, and it lists the contact, it lists the company they're with, their email address, and this CRM here, this is where I talked about the handshake mode. This will give us information of the person if they're in the CRM. Okay, this person isn't in our test CRM, but it would pull out certain information from the CRM. You can see who it's been assigned to, and this can be changed between the agents. You can see status, the due dates, so you can see how this is not a really old ticket, this one. We've not gone back to the same one I had before, did I? So you can see it's a really old ticket that needs dealt with. So red means bad, let's get this dealt with. And you can see other information related to the contact, the phone, any product name, which would be from the CRM, and some additional information on the priority, a classification language. That's not too relevant here. And so we'll look at suggested articles right at the end there. Okay, I'm just going to go back to the list here. I want to go back to that Dave Grohl one. We'll move back into that. Again, slight delay. So you can still see the tickets on the left. Information about Dave. He's not in our CRM from what I can remember. No, he isn't. And there's his information. And now we're inside the ticket. So what we're saying here is that the subject was the subject of an email sent to us, UK tour planning required. So at the bottom, our client, Dave Grohl, sent us an email saying, let's get a tour planned in October, call me to discuss. Now what's happened here is Steve's replied saying Pete will be in touch, and Pete has been tagged. Now I'll just show you how that was done. So let's go over to this. Before I jump forward to the replying to the email, again, I'll just show you what you can see. We've seen this data all the way throughout the training this morning. Always little bits of data appear. You can see the created date, even followers, any tags. We'll look at time entries in a sec. But over here is where we start the collaboration and the communication. We've got reply all. We've got reply. So that would be just to the single person mentioned who's logged the call or the ticket. Reply all will be to anyone who's copied in. We've got forward, so we can forward an email to, say, an external person who might be involved, who might be somebody we need help from. We could forward it to them to say, can you help? And that brings them involved into this ticket. And we've also got this comment here. So let's comment. I'm going to open this comment. I'm going to say @ So the @ tag always brings up the list of the other users or agents in the CRM. I'm going to say, Pete, have you managed to look at this yet? And then I can comment. Oh, didn't spell that right. That's fine. So we've made a comment. I've made a comment to Pete. I do have his CRM set up in the background, so I'll just quickly reply to that in the background. So hopefully you'll see someone is replying. Yes. So I've got Pete to comment in the background. And you can see the comment has been added. So you can see I'm in here already. And I could see that Pete has made a comment. It popped up there. You could see that someone else was viewing it. And there's the reply from Pete. So he said, yes, email today. Okay, so now let's imagine that's the comment. So this is where we have the collaboration starting. And then here you see the notifications. And we've got Pete here has posted a comment. So we know that that's going on, that red button up here. Okay. So what I want to do here, I want to show you how you can reply and how easy it can be and some of the tips and techniques we have when we reply to an email. So this is me. I'm going to reply to Dave, our client. Actually, I don't want to do that one because the last email we came to, let me just go back into the ticket, sorry. Because we're not fully configured as an emailing system, we get bounce backs. Well, we've got a fake email address for Dave. But I can select down on the bottom right here, the 3 ellipses. I'm going to reply to this particular email. Up here, I was actually replying to another email, this mailer failure. So I don't want to reply to that. So I'm going to reply. So I'm now replying to Dave. So what I can do is manually type an email. He will be in touch. Click send. And what I'll get eventually is a bounce back, and we should get a notification that an email reply has come in. Okay, so that's me replied, a manual reply saying thanks. And you can see here it says customer has sent a new reply. Well, that's going to be the email failure because it's a fake email address that we're using. But that just shows you how when you get the reply, it's logged the ticket number and come back to the right place. However, I've got some little tips here on what you can do when you reply to an email. And this is in terms of sending, using templates and something we call snippets. So I'm in the response area here. I'm replying. And in this area, we've got an icon that says snippets. So we've got the snippet here. And this is where I can use previous little bits of information I've sent and I've saved it. So it's where I'm using a placeholder, as it's called, or in CRM, we call them merge fields, where I've pulled in the user's or the client's name and added a signature. So if I select this, you'll see I've got, hi, Dave Grohl, please book a meeting so we can discuss further. Regards, Steve. And all I've done here is put a placeholder to pull in the customer's name, and then I've added my own name at the bottom in a snippet. Now, I'll show you how that's done. We've got this add snippet button here. I'm going to say, we'll call the snippet hello. And down here, we've got a little cut down sort of editing. We can customize slightly the text that we have, but I won't do that. I'll show you what we do here. We say hi, and then we have what we call placeholders, and these are just fields within the desk system. So I'm going to put contact. So in there you can see Dave Grohl, it's his full name. I'm just going to put in his first name. I could say, great to hear from you. We'll deal with ticket. And then I'm going to put the subject here. I'll also try and spell properly. And then I'll put my name in. So there down here, you've got agent-related data. So I'm going to put first name here, and then let's just hit enter and put my email address. So it's saying, hi, first name, great to hear from you. We'll deal with the ticket. And then we've got the subject name, ASAP. And then I've said, thanks, my name, and the email address. So I'll click save. So let's replace the snippet. Going to go back to the ticket. I'm not going to, just if you notice here, this drop down arrow here, I can save the draft, or I can actually also discard it. So I'm going to discard it. It'll give me a warning, say yes. So I'll do it again, do a reply. I want to add a snippet. It's not there. I don't know why that's not there. Did I not save it? Here it is. Yeah, I've typed in hello. That was the name of the ticket. If I select that, you can see, hi, great to hear from you. We'll deal with ticket UK tour planning required ASAP. So you can see that's pulled in here. And then I can click send. Okay. As well as snippets, now snippets are specific to the actual user who's added this. So it's not global, and it won't be saved in the desk system to allow other people to use it. So in this case, we can use templates. So you can also reply with a template. And we have some pre-built templates. I'll just select that and it's popping up. So we have templates. We don't have any starred templates that you can save. We can star them. And what I'm going to choose here is a contact notification template. And these ones are kind of built in already. So what I've got here is acknowledge contact on receiving a new ticket. So what you can see here, a pre-built template has been built. And so it's added dear, and it's got the first name of the user. And your ticket has been created with the ticket ID. And this is basically more placeholders or merge fields being pulled in. Now your account it's not relevant here. There's no account name in this one. And then it's got my signature. So again, very simply and easily, I've acknowledged that email that's been sent in, and I've sent an email reply using a template. And these templates are available globally to all users. So unlike snippets, which are basically user-based, these are snippets here. The templates are available to all users. And we can add a template up here, and it opens up a new window, and we can start building this new template. I won't do this just now. We're not got a lot of time left, but this is where you would build the new template. You would add in your placeholders here, and again, you've got these placeholders on the right-hand side. Save that template, and then it would be available to everyone. Okay. So I'm just going back to all tickets. You can see it's defaulted back to the mode view, which I prefer, this priority mode. But I want to go back to table view. I'm going to look at all tickets again. And there's the Dave Grohl one. It's now at the top because we've been doing a lot of emailing backwards and forwards. You can see these error messages. So what we're seeing here is how easy it is to respond and reply to a client who's submitted a ticket. And they could be submitting the ticket manually over the phone. It could be sent via email, or it could be submitted via an online portal, which we can discuss and will discuss in the advanced training for Zoho Desk. One of the last things I want to talk about, there's two things really in here. You can see we've got these functions where you can add the attachments. Activities, you can add the tasks and allocate them to people. So you can hear it's like a task you can add, similar to CRM, and allocate to other people. You can also set up approvals, which is more advanced. So it means you need approval for certain things to happen. And here's the history, all up and down here. But the last two things I really want to talk about is time entries and resolution. So in here, we've got what we call a time entry. So I've spent a bit of time here dealing with this ticket, and I might get paid per hour for this, or we have an online package set up with this organization, this client. So we need to log how much time we spent on here. We could select start timer, and it starts recording the amount of time being taken live while you're emailing backwards and forwards to a client. And when you finish doing that, you stop and save the timer, and then it will appear when we refresh. It appears as a time entry within the ticket. And so this is an automatic one. And you can do more configuration with it being billable or non-billable. We can edit or delete it if we didn't feel it's worth keeping there. But we can also add our own manual time entries. So I could say I've spent the last 20 minutes writing emails and dealing with it. I can put a description of it, and I'll save that and submit it. So we've saved that as a time entry within the desk. And then you can pull out reports and look at how much time you spent dealing with particular clients and how you use that against the time and the budget and what they spent with you. Okay. Then the final thing I want to look at within a ticket is the resolution option. Now, when you have a resolution, you can choose to save and add it as an article into your knowledge base. I'll just quickly go over to another tab, and we've got the knowledge base here. And this is our knowledge base where we can build and add data from our knowledge base, our information from previous tickets. So I'll just go back to the other tab. Yeah, this is the knowledge base here. And we've got into the UK tour planning, so I could add a resolution. Let's just say we've got an article about online gigs. I'm just going to do a search on Google. Let's just have a look here. I'm just going to pull out some data regarding online gigs. I'm going to paste it in there. I'm going to save as an article. So I've resolved it. And now what you see here is we've popped to our knowledge base, and I'm going to publish it. Okay, so it's called UK Tour Planning Required, and it's got some information about it. So what we're saying here is we've got an article within our knowledge base that we've added via a ticket when we've resolved a ticket. And we've added it to our knowledge base so we can potentially use it again in the future. So for example, if I go to another ticket, I'm going to go to this 690, hopefully. No, just took me a little bit long. So I'll open this different ticket. When I reply, if I go up into here, you can see I've got this support for socially distanced gig. Now, on the middle here, we've got some pop-ups that are appearing to searching through our knowledge base to do with anything related to something that might be within the ticket that we've opened. So if I start searching UK Tour, you can see it's not quite pop this one up because it's not got the word gig involved with the title, because we've got this UK gig here, but we've got UK Tour Planning Required. And as I type in this middle section here, it's looking through the knowledge base for anything that might be relevant. So if I select this one, you can see I can paste it to the ticket. And now we've got that article from our knowledge base attached into that ticket, and we can send that. So again, if I just go to the ticket list here, go back over here, back to my tickets. If I go into this UK Tour Planning Required, just show you how it works here. If I select reply, you can see here it appears at the top because there's a complete match. So what's happening here, we have the ticket with the subject heading, and it's looking for articles within our knowledge base. So again, you know, I just wanted to get that one in. It's a really important way of easily responding to tickets and requests in the CRM. We've used snippets, we've used templates, and we can also use our knowledge base, and we can add to the knowledge base at the same time. Okay, we've run out of time just now. It goes so quick. We definitely will be doing another more advanced and another 1 hour workout on Desk, but hopefully that has given you an overview of what Desk can do and why it really is a much better way of navigating your conversations with your clients. And it all keeps it in one space and allows collaboration.